Right, welcome back, my fellow investors. Today we're going to keep it dead simple. We're going to have a look over my dividend portfolio and just have a look at how many dividends, how much in dividends I have made over the first half of this year, the first 5 months anyway. So this is my dividend pie within Trading 212. These are the holdings that I have within here. This is the one pie that you can see that's up. So 5.85% up versus the others are not doing so well. So I'm pleased with that. I've also obviously had dividend payments coming in as well. So I'm up in terms of the unrealized capital gains, and I'm up in terms of the dividend payments I've had too. So the holdings haven't changed really since you've seen them recently, but anyone new, I've got Microsoft, Unilever, Aviva. I also hold Aviva in my Hargreaves Lansdown ISA from a previous year. I've got Lloyd's, Apple, Realty Income, Johnson & Johnson, Pepsi, McDonald's, 3M, and Legal & General, with Legal & General being my highest conviction of the lot, and that has suffered over the last few months, 10% down. So within this portfolio, I've got £15,000, £797 invested. I am 5.84% up, which is £871. But like I said, I've had those dividends coming in as well. So I've got 11 holdings in here. One thing here is I don't have auto invest turned on. I just add the payments as and when I want them. I also don't want any more. I've done this recently. I don't want any of my dividends being spread across the businesses. So usually, for example, imagine I get £100 dividend through today from from Microsoft. What would typically happen if you've got auto invest turned on and everything like that all set up is it would split it up across the 11 holdings, and you get about £9 going back into each of all of these holdings. I've changed it slightly now, and what I do is, like recently, I've had £5 odd from Realty Income, and I've invested it. I've myself gone in and physically invested it back into Realty Income. So the holdings that are creating the dividends, I'm investing directly back into them. So those that can compound, that can start flying, they've got the right to do that in their own right, rather than losing any proportion of the dividend that's paid. So every single dividend payment I get, I track onto this spreadsheet. It's very crude, it's very rudimental, but it does what it needs to do for me. So in here we can see, starting with May, which we've just had, I've just had £5.20 in from Realty Income. That takes in every month, and it creeps up every month. So I'd love to see that. And I've just had £30 and 2 pence from Aviva in my Hargreaves Lansdown account. Now that payment was due to be made on the 18th, which was yesterday, which I got from Hargreaves Lansdown because they pay their dividends straight away. Trading 212 do not, and I've not had my Trading 212 dividend from Hargreaves Lansdown from Aviva. It's probably be about double that, thereabouts, at least another 25 quid. Trading 212 like to hold on to that cash for a little bit, make a little bit of extra. Had a little bit of extra gain for themselves in it, I think. Next week as well, I'm going to be getting my Lloyd's dividend, which, having a look on Stock Events, by the way, Stock Events, I'm not sponsored by them. There's no affiliate. It's a great little app. Download it. It's called Stock Events, and you type in all the holdings that you've got in there. It tells you exactly when you're going to get your dividends. It tells you when the ex-dividend is. It also tells you what your anticipated yearly dividend income potentially could look like. So for me at the moment, it says I'm on track for £880 total dividends over the course of this year if I don't add another penny. So that's a really useful little app. It's good to know when your dividends should be paid, when they are going to be paid, all of that sort of good stuff. So it tells me that next week, Johnson & Johnson is going ex-dividend, and I'll be getting £9 from that a couple of weeks after. It also tells me that on the 23rd, I'm due to be paid £28 and 46 pence from Lloyd's. So for this holding, I should be getting around £30 for Lloyd's, and that will bring the total for this month to around £65. So that'll be pretty good. I'm really happy with that. So what I like to do, as you can see on the top here, I like to track everything over the last few years. So if I look at May, so we'll assume I get to about £65, and if we look at May for 2022, £31. So I've been doubling it, and and we look at 21, May came in at £32. Yeah, not too bad. Same, pretty much similar, but that's because there's a lot more holdings there. Let's have a look at 2020 for May. That was £2.57. So you can see the increase over the years, and it's really good to see that happening live. So up at £65, what are we doing at that point? We're paying off a mobile phone bill, perhaps. Of course, everything I earn in dividends gets directly invested back into the accounts. So we're looking for that snowball effect rather than taking anything out at the moment. So £65 in May. Looking at April, I had £47. And also, I've done this before. I mentioned it in the last video. So you can see this number down here, 0.29. So 29 pence. So what this basically means is I've broken it down and I've divided the amount of money I've made over the course of the month, £47, and divided it by 162.5, which is the average amount of work hours in a month. And that tells me if I was to retire right now and just rely upon my dividends, I would earn an hourly salary of 29 pence. So we're not quite there yet, but it's really good to see that. And it'll be creeping up over the course of the months, over the course of the years. And when we get to a point where that's looking really tasty, that'll be really exciting. So I really like to keep an eye on that metric now. So in April, I had £7.26 from Pepsi. They are a quarterly paying dividend business. I also had the lovely little monthly £5.24. So that gave me £12.50 in my individual stocks. £12.50 in April. Bit of a quiet one for the individual stocks, but that's fine. I've also got some funds, some ETFs, and I got £24.42 from my all world fund and £10.12 from my emerging markets. That comes in at a monthly total £47.04, which is a nice little month. Happy with that. Having a look at 2022 again. April was £19.52, so more than doubled it. 2021 was £8.55, and in 2020, in May, I brought in £2.57. So you can see that it really is starting to grow, and this is just by consistently reinvesting those dividends, consistently every month dropping in what you can. And it's not easy, and it takes time. And even with 4 years behind me now, you're still looking at the numbers thinking, oh, Christ, when is it finally really going to start taking off? But think about it. We're doubling nearly every year. We're doubling what we got every year, pretty much. When we look at the year's totals and on average across the months, we're doubling what we're taking in from dividends. So it is a bit of a slog. It's a slow route to wealth. There is no real, proper, quick, free ways to quick wealth. But this is, and what it also is this genuine passive income. The internet is obsessed with the word passive income, and in reality, it doesn't really work. But the one place I do think it does work is in dividend payments. You do the work up front, you do your research into these businesses, you put some cash into them, and they go and work on your behalf. They go and sell their products in the background, do whatever work they need to do to make as much money as possible, and then they give a proportion of that to you just for holding some of their shares. It's a pretty good little setup. So March was a good month. It's one of those months that every quarter, March really starts to deliver because a lot of my holdings pay out. Microsoft £2.93. So they're a small payer, they're a dividend payer, but they're a growth business that pay a small dividend. McDonald's £6.04. I do love McDonald's at the moment. I'm thinking about 20% up in my holding on that, and I'm also getting a dividend from it. Johnson & Johnson, nice pharma business, £6.58. Unilever, British business, but a global business. Got presence in virtually every country in the world. They've also got a product portfolio that would blow your mind. £10.48. 3M, £9.12. Now 3M has been really beaten up over the last 12 months, 18 months now. It's really down, but I just keep dripping into it because I'm looking for those dividends. That's going to compound, and that's going to give me a better yield on cost. As that stock price comes down, and I continue to buy, that dividend yield goes up and up. So I'm thinking about 6% dividend yield on 3M now. So it was about 3% when I started. Realty income, £4.72. Total for stocks, £39.87. I also had £13.04 from my S&P 500. That brought me to a total of £52.91 and a 33 pence salary. Now, when I first got my job, ages ago when I was 17, I was below minimum wage, and I was a waiter. What was I earning? It was something like £1.90, £2.10. I don't know. It was around about that an hour. So, not even at that level yet. But we're creeping up. It's getting there. In February, £2.48 from April, £4.60 from realty income, and nothing from any of my funds. So that gave me a total of £7. So February is a real lean month. So is January, actually, in reality. So £5.75 from Pepsi, £4.45 from realty income, £4.51 from my biotech fund, which I've got high hopes for in the future, and just 49 pence from my iShares Robotics ETF. So that gave me a total of £15.20 and just 9 pence per hour for the month of January. So that gives me a total so far of £157.45. So that's £104 into my individual businesses. That's £52.58 into my ETFs, tracking at £157.45. Free money. And we haven't really even had the serious dividends be paid yet. So as I said, on that app, Stock Events, it's saying that I'm going to be coming in around £880, £900 over the course of this year. And when I review that versus the end of 2022, I had 470. So I will have doubled my money. 470 versus 2021, I had 156. So nearly tripled my money. 2020, I just had £66, so more than double my money there. So if I keep doubling my money, dividends every year, which I won't, it won't keep up at that level, but it's pretty good progress. And you get to it like 1, 2, 3 years, 4 years into it, and you're thinking, oh Christ, I'm still not a millionaire. What's the crack? This is the time when you just got to keep holding strong. We're in a bear market. Stocks are going down. Growth stocks have been hit massively. It is a real test for the investor at the moment. And that's why, for me personally, looking at my portfolio, that's why I've got dividend businesses. I've also got funds. I've also got growth businesses. And you can see the proportion of my growth businesses is significantly smaller than the proportion of my dividend and funds, because they're a speculative play. So within my growth pie, I've got businesses that are speculative plays. The only thing that's really doing well in there is good old Rolls Royce, absolutely flying. That's keeping everything afloat at the moment. But things have started to pick up, to be honest, across these businesses. Netflix yesterday had an absolutely massive day. It's growing subscribers and doing well. I'm only 1.85% down on that now. And I have said before I will be selling out of that, and that still is the plan. Alphabet, yeah, that is, what is that up over the course of, it doesn't click in this one, on this one. But over the course of the last 12 months, I think it's about 30% up. So Alphabet's absolutely flying. So we are seeing some recovery in the quality growth stocks. But that's why I've got a diverse portfolio across different sectors. Dividends just happen to be doing really well at the moment. So if you did get to this point, thanks a lot for watching. I really do appreciate it. In order to just keep getting some videos out, sometimes I'm going to do these ones. It means I don't have to set the camera up. It means there's a lot less of an edit, a lot less of a script to be written. But it just keeps you guys updated in terms of how we're tracking. And also that reminds me, after that video I did a couple of weeks ago, thanks so much for the comments in there. I did say that I was going to be dropping down. I got to a point where I was thinking, I don't know whether this is worth it anymore. But the amount of people that were supportive in the comments told me that there's a lot of value that you guys get from this. I really appreciate it. There's a lot of value I get from it because it keeps me honest. A lot of value I get from it as well because I enjoy doing it. So I really appreciate those kind comments in the last video. So that's it, guys. Thanks a lot. Any questions, let me know.